Having lived 24 years in this world, I'd been entangled with Charles Fang for all 24 of them. But with only 3 months left, until the wedding day, Jane Chen suddenly wanted to call off the engagement. He didn't love me anymore. On the start of winter this year, Jiangyu welcomed the first snowfall of the season. "Hey sis, you shouldn't go for an IV drip all by yourself. You dozed off just now." The medicine ran out completely, and blood even started backing up into the tube. "Lucky my mom spotted it and called the nurse for you." Jane Chen lay on the emergency room bed, her ears catching the kind reminder from the girl in the next bed, her mind still foggy and dizzy. The girl kept going. "Hey sis, you've still got a few bottles left to infuse. Maybe call your family, sis." Jane Chen stared blankly for a moment before replying to the girl, "I'm an orphan." The girl was stunned upon hearing that, and hurriedly apologized. Jane Chen smiled and said it was fine, slowly pulling her phone from under the pillow. Checking the time. It was already 2 a.m. How had it gotten so late? All of yesterday I'd been at the studio, ordered takeout in the evening, and after eating, dove right into editing photos. For a full 4 hours, not a single shot satisfied me. They were all garbage. Right when my emotions were about to collapse, my lower right abdomen started hurting intensely. At first I thought lying down for a bit would fix it, but soon after, I felt nauseous and kept vomiting, non-stop day. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore and had to catch a cab to the hospital. The doctor said it was acute enteritis, and I'd already finished 2 bottles of IV. During the first bottle, I was still alert, but halfway through the second, I couldn't hold out because I was so sleepy. It had been a long time since I'd had a really good night's sleep. The nurse finished changing the new IV bag, gave a few more instructions, and then left. That was fine. The young nurse saw I had no family with me, and offered to help contact a caregiver. Jane Chen was hospitalized for 3 days. On the day of discharge, Lady Mila Lan called. "Tomorrow is your sister's birthday. Don't you dare forget." Jane Chen had just stepped out of the hospital. "I can't go, I'm sick." Mila Lan knew this daughter of hers all too well, and obviously didn't believe it. "Sick? Are you putting on an act? You don't get sick early or late. But right when it's your sister's birthday, you conveniently fall ill." The weather was damp, and Jane Chen's eyes blurred for a brief moment. It was just a moment. Then I lazily mocked. "Believe it or not, it's up to you, Mom. Either way, I'm not going. What's so great about a birthday anyway? A funeral would be more interesting. I'll come once she's kicked the bucket." "Jane Chen, how can you be so vicious?" Mila Lan flew into a rage. "If I'm vicious, it's because you gave birth to me. Cursing me is like cursing yourself. You still know I gave birth to you? Is that how you treat your own mother? Can't you learn a thing or two from your sister? She's so obedient and sensible, never giving your dad and me any worry. What should I learn from her? Learn her shameless ways? Learn how she cuckoos her way into someone else's nest? Learn her immoral habits, spewing filth every time she opens her mouth? Or learn her green tea act, pretending to be innocent while having a venomous heart?" A taxi pulled up by the roadside, with passengers getting out. Jane Chen strode over. "If you hate me so much already, why even call me? Aren't you afraid I'll piss you off to death? Or maybe we should just delete each other's numbers." "Jane Chen, watch your mouth." This kind of conversation happened every year, and Mila Lan was long used to it. After a round of scolding and warnings, she started giving orders. "I don't have time for your nonsense. Tomorrow Charles will be there too. He said he'll come pick you up." That's when Jane Chen's face turned cold. "You called him already?" "Yes. You two are in a cold war. Did you expect me to wait for you to call first? I'm giving you a way out here. When you see him, remember to apologize and admit you're wrong." Mentioning this, Mila Lan started nagging in disappointment again. "Next year you'll be married. Stop holing up in that rundown studio all day. It doesn't make much money anyway. You need to invest more effort in Charles. Stop arguing with him every single day. You have to fix that attitude of yours. Learn from your sister. Her personality is so much better. Mom kept droning on and on. More annoying than the monk's tightening headband in Journey to the West. Jane Chen opened the car door and got in, about to hang up, when Mila Lan quickly said, "There'll be plenty of guests tomorrow. It's your sister's birthday. What kind of image would it be if her little sister isn't there? Rumors are flying outside, saying you two aren't getting along. If you don't come, your sister will be the laughingstock. Do it for my sake and show up." Jane Chen gave the address to the driver, then leaned back in the seat. "Oh, my appearance fee is pretty steep." Mila Lan was speechless. Money, money, money. Every time we talk, you always end up bringing up money conditions. Stop being so obsessed with cash. After scolding, she suppressed her anger and asked, "How much do you want?" Jane Chen, "Didn't you say to do it for your sake? So how much is your face worth?" Jane Chen got home, cooked some porridge, ate it, and then crashed for a long nap. She slept until noon the next day, woken by the phone ringing. It was her best friend Monica Tang calling. "Babe, I'm boarding at 3 p.m. today, landing at 5:30. Remember to pick me up. Didn't you say it was a 1-month business trip? It's only been half a month and you're done already. I took half a day off to come back and have a meal with you, then head out again." Jane Chen was stunned, patting her forehead to wake up more. "Right, today was Grace Wen's birthday. Every year on this day, Monica Tang would join me for hot pot, drinks, partying all night long. You don't have to go through all that trouble." Jane Chen sat up in bed, picked up the cold tea on the nightstand and took a sip. "Tonight I have to go back to the old house. Lady Mila Lan already transferred the money to me. At first it was only 5 figures. I didn't even bother. After some haggling, it went up to 7 figures. That's when I sent her a meme, thanking the goddess of wealth. Lady Mila must have been fuming. After dragging it out half the day, my mood finally lightened up a bit. Spending 7 figures to invite me over for a drink, and incidentally make those people uncomfortable. What a steal. 7 figures? She's really generous. Monica Tang's voice dripped with sarcasm. She truly couldn't fathom Mila Lan's outrageous favoritism. Normally, stingy to the last penny with Jane Chen. But now, to save face for her adopted daughter, throwing money around without a care, treating her biological child like trash, and the adopted one like treasure. What kind of mother has an empty skull like that? Nah, that's too mild. That whole Chen family, except for Jane Chen, everyone's got empty heads, like their brains got slammed in a door or something. Every time those people came up, Monica Tang would get so mad. She couldn't help but curse a few times before changing the subject. "So how are things with you and Charles Feng? Still in the Cold War?" Jane Chen took another sip of the cold tea, her hands and feet freezing. "He's going to the birthday party tonight too. Lady Mila said he'll come pick me up. He hasn't said we'll make up, but he hasn't said we won't either." This shows the issue this time is serious. Monica Tang was silent for a long while, finally unable to hold back. "Babe, don't blame me for meddling. You two keep fighting like this, it's not good." Jane Chen set the cup down, didn't reply, just closed her eyes and calculated the time. "We did argue, and this time, my fight with Charles Feng was pretty intense. It seemed like we'd been in a Cold War for 2 months already. Charles Feng wasn't the same Charles Feng from back then anymore." Monica Tang wanted to scold me awake. "He's changed for the worse. He's fallen for that green tea, Tiffany, Yahweh. Snap out of it. He's not clean anymore. Why do you have to hang yourself dead set on that twisted old tree?" The truth was indeed harsh, like a sharp blade that could carve a bloody hole in someone's heart. Jane Chen's head throbbed like needles. It's true that Charles Feng once loved me, passionately. It's true that Charles Feng now doesn't love me anymore. I'd gone from being his rib to a piece of chicken gristle stuck in his throat, tasteless to chew, but reluctant to spit out. Tiffany Yue. Jane Chen utterly despised that name. Didn't even want to mention it. But the fact was that the woman named Tiffany Yue had become Charles Feng's second rib. Why did I have to cling to him so desperately? Of course, because I wasn't willing to let go. After all, I'd waited so many years. And finally, the wedding day was almost here. After all, I'd loved him sincerely once. And besides, the engagement ceremony had already happened. Next year was the wedding, just over 3 months away. The invitations had all been sent out. Everyone knew I was getting married soon. If I gave up now, where would I put my face? Fine, consider me thick-skinned. I could ditch my pride. But I still wasn't willing. Not willing to give up like this. Even less willing to hand him over on a platter to that ungrateful green tea Tiffany Yue. But no matter how unwilling, what could I do about it? Charles Feng said I'd turned into a hedgehog. It's true I'd bristled up like one. But sadly, that wouldn't last much longer. The sharp spines on my body had been plucked clean, one, by Charles Feng. Armor gone, only bloody wounds left. Once the last spine was gone too, would I even be able to hold on to my life? Just as Lady Mila Lan had said. Jane Chen got a call from Charles Feng. It's your sister's birthday. Mom Mila said we should go together. Where are you? I'll come pick you up. Jane Chen had just finished showering, holding her phone as she headed to the dressing room. Weren't you ignoring me? So now you want to make up? Charles Feng paused for a second, then countered. Do you want to make up? Jane Chen heard that arrogant tone with no hint of concession, and knew right away that if she kept on this topic, they'd end up arguing again. I didn't want to argue over the phone. Night fell over the apartment complex. Dark gray clouds enveloping the sky, a heavy feeling that made it hard to breathe. A black car was parked by the roadside. Charles Feng leaning against the door, smoking. Jane Chen strode forward in her high heels, her figure graceful and elegant. Her slightly weary eyes glanced at the cigarette butts at his feet, smiling as she asked, lost patience waiting. Charles Feng stayed leaning on the car, didn't step forward to greet her but waited for her to approach, his gaze indifferently landing on her, replying perfunctorily, no. Actually, he had lost patience. He'd been waiting nearly an hour. If she was 5 minutes later, he'd have left straight away. Charles Feng knew he'd changed. Before, forget an hour. Even if Jane Chen was late a whole day, he'd wait. No matter how long, he'd be willing. But now, he was fed up. Could only tolerate a maximum of 1 hour. Many people said whoever married Jane Chen was truly blessed. First off, Jane Chen was beautiful. A true bombshell. Charles Feng agreed with that view, because Jane Chen was indeed stunning. Just on looks alone. She was the kind of walking vase every man dreamed of. A fiery figure, mesmerizing eyes, cheeks pale and soft like water. Her peach blossom eyes exuded a unique allure. Even with light makeup, she shone brightly. Like right now, draped in expensive but subtle designer clothes. Not flashy at all. On others it might look proper, but on her, it radiated an irresistible charm. A style that was pure yet seductive with haughty flair. Her posture straight, demeanor relaxed like an arrogant princess. Taking such a beauty out was beyond face-saving. Moreover, Jane Chen's family background was top-notch. The heiress of a real estate tycoon, from a prestigious family. Bringing her home meant status and benefits. This good fortune had originally landed on Charles Feng. Jane Chen was his fiancée. Too bad he didn't value money. No matter how good the Chen family was, it couldn't compare to the Fengs. He was the young master of the Feng family. The one thing he lacked least was money. Jane Chen marrying into here was like climbing high. In terms of face, Jane Chen was his type, but a brilliant rose owned for too long would eventually feel tiresome. Like delicacies eaten too often become bland. Time passing turns everything dull. Mutual friends all advised him, "Charles Feng, don't be reckless. No one in this world loves you more than Jane Chen. If you make her so angry she leaves, you'll regret it too late." Jane Chen loved him. He knew that, and he'd loved her once too. At first, it was passionate love. Then it faded to boredom, carrying lingering attachments he was reluctant to admit. And now, he'd fallen for Tiffany Yue, a woman with a fate like wild grass, but incredibly resilient. Friends advised again, "Charles Feng, wake up. You've loved Jane Chen for so many years. You can't suddenly love someone else. It must be an illusion. You're just temporarily enchanted. Deep down, you still only love Jane Chen. Was it an illusion? Who knows? And does it matter anyway?" All he knew was that right now, Tiffany Yue mattered more to him than Jane Chen. On the way to the old Chen house, Charles Feng brought up their Cold War again, asking the same question once more. "Do you want to make up?" "Make up? Of course I did." Jane Chen turned to look at him. "Sure. As long as you fire Tiffany Yue, I promise I'll never argue with you again." Tiffany Yue was Charles Feng's secretary. Jane Chen had discovered Charles Feng's unusual gestures toward Tiffany Yue and demanded he let her go. Charles Feng refused, claiming Tiffany Yue was exceptionally capable, with no reason to fire her. Back then, she was still busy trying to salvage the relationship, thinking Charles Feng was just angry because she'd been absent too long, thinking he was just provoking her. She never believed Charles Feng truly wanted to abandon her. Until 2 months ago, right below Charles Feng's apartment, seeing those tightly interlaced hands, seeing that passionate morning kiss that stung her deeply. Charles Feng's frankness afterward was like charity, like a hand from hell, ripping her heart apart. He said, "Jane Chen, I don't want to deceive you. I've fallen for Yue. Of course, the Feng family would never accept her, so you can rest easy. I'll still marry you. The wedding will go on as planned." In the car, soft piano music played gently, but each note stirred Jane Chen's shattered memories. The vows of eternal love from their youthful days turned out to be just that. She'd once yearned to marry Charles Feng, yearned for it even in her dreams. Charles Feng was certain she'd compromise for love, but her self-respect wouldn't allow her to share with that green tea. Ironically, Charles Feng was madly in love with Tiffany Yue, forcing her to fulfill his so-called second love. This was a knot that couldn't be untied. As expected, the reconciliation talk dissolved into nothing because neither would budge. Charles Feng's words were cruel. "Jane Chen, if you insist on canceling the wedding, it's not impossible. Stop being unreasonable and picking fights. This might not be what you want to hear, but in our circle, after marriage everyone plays their own game. It's normal." Jane Chen didn't bother replying, just propped her hand on the window, gazing at the scenery outside, watching the high-rises lined up along the road. Her mind had wandered off somewhere. About to get out of the car, she picked up her phone and sent a WeChat message. The message to Charles Feng, 99. Charles Feng glanced at the screen, then, casually, slipped the phone into his pocket. This wasn't the first time Jane Chen had sent numbers like that. The first time she sent was 1, and this was the 99. Yes, exactly 99. He'd once asked her, "What does it mean?" When she was drunk, she'd joke, "Every time you stab my heart, I'll note it down." Charles Feng Once you've stabbed 100 times, the Jane Chen who loves you will vanish too. Then, I won't need you anymore. Jane Chen started sending one from. It was their first big fight after getting engaged last year. Charles Feng had figured out her pattern. Indeed, she sent a number after every major argument. But not after every fight. It seemed to depend on her mood. Charles Feng didn't care. Just thought she was being dramatic. After all, Jane Chen loved him like her life. He was sure she'd compromise in the end. No more birthday party. Today was the birthday of George Hong's eldest daughter, chairman of Evergreen Group. Everyone knew well. The Chen family had 2 daughters. The eldest, Grace Wen, outstanding and adored by all. And the youngest, Jane Chen, sharp-tongued and rebellious. The most pampered in the family was the eldest sister. Every year, Grace Wen's birthday was thrown lavishly. A 30th birthday party, done up as grand as an 18th coming of age. Guests arrived in droves. Mostly business folks, the kind with money and profit practically stamped on their faces. Mostly up-and-coming single young masters. An arrangement clearly calculated. The purpose way too obvious. Grace Wen had high credentials, peak beauty, massive family clout. Basically, top tier, all around. Ironically, the grand princess of the Chen family, surrounded by glory, at 30 years old, was still single. She wasn't in a rush, but George Hong and his wife were frantic. The birthday parties, these past 2 years, pulled every string to gather young heirs who were rising, well-matched, and still single. Call a birthday party, but it was basically a matchmaking event. Besides the young talents, female guests were plenty too. Some prestigious ladies representing their clans, some elegant wives accompanying husbands, and showbiz beauties tagging along to glam up for the tycoons. Men gathered to talk business, make deals, network, boast, and flatter each other. Women gathered, in this chilly winter weather, all decked in the most luxurious spring-summer culture, subtly showing off their curves, some with ambitions to expand connections, others blinded by vanity, flaunting lovers to hunt tycoons. A few just huddled in 3s and 5s in hidden corners, munching seeds while gossiping. Hey, look at Grace, went over there. Flirting left and right, nose in the air. What's with the show? Just an adopted kid, acting like she's the real grand princess. Grace Wen is adopted. You didn't know? You must not be local to Jiangyu. Yeah, I grew up abroad from a young age. Just came back not long ago. Is Grace Wen really adopted? The Chen family has 3 kids. The eldest son, Gary Hu, and the youngest daughter, Jane Chen, are biological, while Grace Wen is adopted. Rumor has it, Grace Wen's birth, dad died in a warehouse fire, and how her mom died is unclear. In short, after becoming an orphan, the Chen family took her in. Why did the Chen family adopt her? Not many know the inside story. A prestigious lady, after tasting a bite of cake, eagerly chimed in. I know this one. Grace Wen's birth. Dad was Mr. Chen's classmate. After Mr. Chen inherited the family business, Grace Wen's birth, Dad followed to help him. Was his right-hand man. Their bond was super tight. Mr. Chen pitied Grace Wen and adopted her. After hearing, someone clicked their tongue in admiration. Then the Chen family treats this adopted child way too well. Rumor has it George Hong, these years focused only on grooming the eldest son and Grace Wen. They joined Evergreen Group right after graduation. Only Jane Chen didn't. Heard she started her own business, opened some photography studio. George Hong's wife, wherever she goes, always brings Grace Wen along. Whenever mentioning daughter, she praises how excellent Grace Wen is this and that. Rarely mentions Jane Chen. Well, because Grace Wen is really talented. Plus, Grace Wen joined the Chen family at 12, raised for nearly 20 years. No different from biological. It's also because Jane Chen doesn't try. With that spoiled, rebellious temper, besides a pretty face, what else does she have? Having looks is enough. Thanks to that face, she snagged the Feng family young master early, about to become the young madam of the Fengs. Totally impressive. So even if Grace Wen is pampered to the max, so what? Jane Chen's about to marry into the Feng family. The Feng family's status is on another level. Ordinary folks can't climb that high. Look at the nobles here today. None can match Charles Feng's label. Yeah, if Grace Wen wants a husband better than Jane Chen's. Unless she marries that one from the Feng family. Mentioning that one from the Feng family without naming. But the seed-munching sisters, all tacitly thought of the same person. You're talking about, Suddenly, in the grand hall, a piercing crash rang out, accompanied by a girl's terrified scream. Everyone startled, quickly looking toward the sound. After seeing, all were stunned. Tonight, Jane Chen originally didn't want to cause trouble, nor did she have the energy to stir things up. In the car, stabbed fatally several times by Charles Feng, hurting so much she didn't want to get to business. Just wanted to eat a ton, drink a ton, to fill the bleeding hole in her heart with food. Plus, money for goods. I'd already taken Lady Mila Land's money. If I caused a scene now, it'd be a bit unethical. Having taken 7 figures, tonight no matter what, I had to save some face for her. So what happened? I didn't start trouble, but trouble found me. Charles Feng was surrounded by the crowd, toasting, while I was dragged by Mila Lan as a prop, performing a sisterly love act in front of everyone, with Grace Wen. After the performance, I glanced at Charles Feng chatting happily with people, knowing he'd be tied up for a while, so I turned and went upstairs, planning to go to my room and lie down to sober up. I'd had a few drinks earlier, had a bit fuzzy. Turning into the bathroom, just as someone rushed out from inside, I didn't have time to dodge, and my shoulder got hit hard. I staggered back 2 steps, leaning on the wall to steady myself. Thud! The white square bag studded with diamonds fell to the ground. Zipper open, contents scattering everywhere. Rubbing my shoulder, I bent down, my gaze landing on the transparent emerald earrings at my feet. The first glance felt incredibly familiar. About to bend and pick them up, when a hand beat me to it, snatching the earrings. I looked up, stunned. Tiffany Yue? Suddenly facing her rival. My first thought was of Charles Feng. The idea that he brought her flashed, and was immediately dismissed. No way. Charles Feng protected Tiffany Yue fiercely. No outsiders knew their relationship. He'd never bring her to occasions like this, because I was here. In Charles Feng's eyes now, I was no different from a venomous shrew. He feared I'd bully Tiffany Yue, feared she'd suffer, so he definitely wouldn't bring her. While I was still dazed, Tiffany Yue had gathered everything from the floor into her bag, stood up abruptly, stuffing the earrings clutched in her palm into the bag too. Only then did she answer, "Sister Wen invited me." That's when it hit me. Grace Wen and Tiffany Yue were college friends. Their relationship was pretty good. Grace Wen inviting Tiffany Yue to her birthday made perfect sense. "I've got something urgent. Excuse me." Before I could speak, Tiffany Yue clutched her bag and dashed off. Steps hurried, as if she really had something pressing. I watched her retreating figure but didn't chase. I did need to have a proper talk with Tiffany Yue, but not today. Leaving the bathroom, I went back to my room and played 2 games. The 3rd round had just started when there was a knock. Tonight luck was against me. Lost 2 in a row. Mood irritated, I slipped on slippers and stormed to open the door. It was the nanny Tracy, Nhi Recap. Seeing the little princess's unhappy face, Tracy Nhi didn't dare linger, hurriedly spilling it all at once. The eldest Miss's earrings are missing. Madam sent me up to ask if you've seen them, miss. Earrings? Jane Chen narrowed her eyes slightly, suddenly asking, the emerald ones. Tracy Nhi nodded quickly. Yes, those emerald ones. That's the birthday gift Madam gave the eldest miss. Heard it's something the old Madam left behind. It's very valuable. The eldest miss didn't even want to wear them tonight. Just now, the eldest Miss's dress got wine on it, so she went to change. Madam said that outfit matches the earrings perfectly, so the eldest Miss decided to get them to wear. Who knew? Opening the box, it was empty inside. Something the grandma left. Jane Chen finally understood why the earrings scattered at her feet earlier felt so familiar. It was Grandma's heirloom. A pair of earrings and a bracelet. Family treasures of the Chens. Could be considered antiques. On her deathbed, Grandma had instructed Lady Mila Lan. The bracelet passes to the daughter-in-law, and the earrings are saved for Chen Chen. Mila Lan had once said she'd save them for her wedding day to wear. Yet now, she'd given them to Grace Wen. When Jane Chen followed the nanny downstairs, Grace Wen was acting extremely heartbroken over the lost earrings. Mila Lan hugged her shoulder, gently consoling, looked up seeing Jane Chen, and immediately demanded loudly, "Where are the earrings?" Her tone full of accusation, as if she'd already decided Jane Chen stole them. Jane Chen casually glanced at the green tea. Tiffany Yue standing next to Grace Wen, facing her guilty gaze. Jane Chen curled her lip in cold disdain. She turned to confirm with Mila Lan first. You mean the ones Grandma left, right? Mila Lan nodded. Jane Chen jutted her chin toward Tiffany Yue. Half an hour ago you bumped into me in the bathroom. Will you take them out yourself, or should I help? Tiffany Yue's face changed instantly. She cried out in shock. Miss Chen, what do you mean by that? Are you saying I'm a thief, that I stole Sister Wen's earrings? The people around were busy chatting, networking. Few paid attention to the commotion here. But Tiffany Yue's sudden scream was both piercing and agitated, quickly drawing many eyes. Charles Feng, surrounded by the crowd, heard it too, as he approached with a group of onlookers. Tiffany Yue was vehemently defending her innocence. She unzipped her bag and turned it upside down, contents spilling all over the floor. But no earrings on the ground. Miss Chen, I know my status is low, can't compare to your nobility, but I have my own self-respect. Anything that's not mine, I absolutely won't covet, let alone steal. Tiffany Yue had a sweet appearance, slender and petite frame. Her light purple gown adorned with pearls had a conservative design, accentuating the elegance of a girl next door. Now her eyes were rimmed red, face pale and slightly lifted, back straight, broad. The grievance and vulnerability in her eyes silently accused Jane Chen. Jane Chen was the sharp beauty type, features delicate and glamorous, tall stature. Her gown tonight was chosen by Mila Lan, changed into at the Chen house, a matching pair with Grace Wen's. Coincidentally also purple. Unlike Tiffany Yue's conservative blandness, this was a stylish long smoky purple dress, off-shoulder and waist cinched, highlighting fiery curves, seductive and alluring like a siren. One side the fragile little neighbor girl, the other the aloof, haughty lady. This scene, no matter how you looked, seemed like Jane Chen bullying Tiffany Yue, especially Jane Chen's mocking sneer on her face, with her arrogant devil-may-care attitude, making Tiffany Yue look even more pitiable. Amid the standoff, Tiffany Yue pursed her lips and spoke. Do you want to search me? It was humiliating, but Grace Wen had said, This was the only way to completely sever Jane Chen and Charles Fang, so Tiffany Yue was willing to gamble. She used her fingertips to slide the dress down, exposing one shoulder, bearing a large swath of fair, smooth skin. Charles Fang rushed out right then. He took off his suit jacket and draped it over Tiffany Yue, grabbed her hand and pulled her behind him, fully shielding her. His handsome face darkened, sharp gaze sweeping to Jane Chen. Jane Chen, don't go too far. Jane Chen stared at his hand tightly gripping Tiffany Yue's. Her brows furrowed in exasperation. Me too far? What did I even do? I just stated a fact. She got agitated herself, dumped her bag, and stripped on her own. Jane Chen pointed at the bag on the floor. When I saw it, there was clearly an earring in her bag. I'm not lying. There's cameras in the house. She'd been bumped by Tiffany Yue right at the bathroom door. The camera angle didn't catch everything, but could still show a bit. Jane Chen told someone to check the cameras. That's when Grace Wen stepped forward, saying the house cameras broke yesterday. Hadn't had time to call for repairs. What a coincidence. Jane Chen whipped around to look at her, sharp eyes full of scrutiny. Grace Wen acted as if she didn't see the suspicion, still smiling gently with magnanimity. Chen, those earrings are the birthday gift Mom gave me. I know you've always liked them. From childhood to now, whatever you like, I've always given it to you. If you like those earrings, just take them. Don't wrong an innocent person. Mila Lan had started suspecting Tiffany Yue earlier. But now, hearing Grace Wen say that, recalling the earrings' origin, she thought it more likely Jane Chen took them. Jane Chen, give the earrings back to your sister. I'll buy you something else. Stop causing a scene. Give back the earrings to your sister. And apologize to Yue. Jane Chen's gaze swept the crowd, looking straight at Charles Fang. Seeing Tiffany Yue behind him with teary eyes, she let out a cold laugh. Truly, the child who cries gets the candy. The problem was, she'd never known how to cry since she was little. The criticisms in her ears continued, the buzzing gossip unending. Jane Chen waved for a champagne glass from the waiter, then hurled it straight at Grace Wen. Dare to scheme against me? Fine, let's get to it. Screw this birthday. I don't give a damn about marrying anymore. No one expected Jane Chen to suddenly throw the glass, the shrill sound startling everyone in the hall. The gossiping crowd, originally in the corners, rushed to surround and watch. Grace Wen couldn't dodge in time. The glass smashed right at her feet, liquid splashing all over her skirt hem, looking utterly wretched. Mila Lan, after coming to, hurriedly pulled Grace Wen to her side. After confirming she wasn't hurt, she looked up glaring at Jane Chen. What are you doing? Jane Chen faced her reproachful gaze. Flashing a faint smile, she lost the earrings Grandma left for me. Right? Her question made Mila Lan a bit guilty. Those earrings were originally left by Grandma for Jane Chen. She should have kept them for Jane Chen. But Ween happened to see them, and said she really liked them. Vane was the kid who rarely asked for anything. So seeing her like the earrings so much, she just gave them. It was just a pair of earrings. Nothing special. Just a bit expensive. Knowing her youngest daughter was petty and calculating, she'd planned to go to an auction someday and bid on a more expensive jewelry set to make up for it. So she didn't think she was wrong. Even felt Jane Chen was being unreasonably explosive. I'll buy you something more expensive. Those earrings I wanted to give to your sister. If you're mad, take it out on me. Don't ruin your sister's party. Jane Chen's sharp gaze cooled a few degrees, her smile even more mocking. That's what Grandma left for me. You gave it to an adopted child. Do you think you're qualified? Jane Chen. Mila Lan was so angry she could barely breathe. Grace Ween hated hearing the words adopted most. It had been so many years since she'd last heard them. amid the surrounding whispers. Her face looked extremely ugly. Jane Chen ignored Mila Lan's warning, tilted slightly, gaze straight on Charles Feng. No longer the mischievous look from before. She just asked softly, "I'm not lying. She really bumped into me. And I did see those earrings." "Charles Feng, do you believe her or me?" The her here obviously referred to Tiffany Yue. This question didn't require any hesitation from Charles Feng. The Charles Feng at 20 would believe Jane Chen unconditionally. But the Charles Feng at 25, even though he felt Jane Chen's current demeanor didn't seem like lying, would still favor Tiffany Yue. He said, "Jane Chen, know when to stop. Stop causing trouble. Give the earrings back to your sister." He grabbed Tiffany Yue's hand, stubbornly, maintaining a protective stance, and apologized to Yue. The gossiping crowd witnessing this scene were all surprised, eyes wide open, looking at the two still holding hands, then at Jane Chen, standing alone. Their drama-sniffing blood immediately surged. "Damn, what's going on here? Aren't these two about to get married? Does the Feng family young master have a side chick?" Jane Chen hadn't expected Charles Feng to go public with Tiffany Yue at this moment. But, thinking carefully, it wasn't strange at all. Charles Feng had always been sentimental and impulsive. Back when he still loved her, as long as she suffered any grievance, he'd disregard the situation and step up to protect her. Now, Tiffany Yue had stripped to this extent, tears of grievance streaming down. He loved her, so he'd recklessly charge out to demand justice for his mistress. "Apologize?" Jane Chen drew out her tone, snatched the champagne glass from a young man's hand nearby, and hurled it straight at Charles Feng. The glass shattered into pieces at his feet. After throwing, Jane Chen tilted her head, sorry to the whole family. Charles Feng's face darkened completely, not saying a word, not even moving, just glaring sharply at Jane Chen. Jane Chen didn't avoid it, staring right back at him. The atmosphere was extremely tense. Right then, Nanny Tracy Nhi ran over. In her hand, a carved wooden box in reddish-brown, slightly open, revealing the sparkling green glow of the earrings. "Found them." She said she found them in the corner of the sofa in Grace Wen's room. Grace Wen slapped her forehead, as if, just remembering, full of remorse, as she grabbed Jane Chen's hand. "When Mom gave them to me, I was so happy. I took them out to look for a bit and forgot to put them back in the box. Last night, I stayed up reviewing documents, so I'm sleep-deprived. My head's all muddled." Chen, I'm sorry. Staying up, reviewing documents. No one doubted this at all. Grace Wen was famously a workaholic. At just 30, already vice president of Evergreen Group. For years, no interest in dating. Devoting all her time to Evergreen. George Hong and his wife were both proud and heartbroken for her. So this birthday party gathered all the talented young masters they'd painstakingly selected. The earrings found. Jane Chen's suspicion cleared, but she still didn't take her eyes off Charles Feng. "Heard that? It was Grace Wen being forgetful, not me stealing." "Charles Feng, has that green tea blinded you so much your brain's muddled too? Why would I need to steal what I want?" She glanced provocatively at Tiffany Yue, then cursed right to her face. "I'm not as low as Tiffany Yue, even stealing men." When saying this, she slightly lifted her swan-like white neck, her demeanor extremely haughty. Charles Feng no longer feared exposure. Tiffany Yue didn't fear the reputation either, since he'd chosen to protect her and make his fiancée lose all face. Why should she save face for them? In that case, screw all dignity. Let's all lose face together for fun. The surrounding gossip grew louder. Tiffany Yue, because of the curse even stealing men, turned pale, trembling as she clutched Charles Feng's sleeve. Seeing him turn, she looked at him with teary eyes. Charles Feng patted her hand lightly to comfort, then turned to tell Jane Chen, "You're drunk." He was very angry, but wouldn't make a scene with Jane Chen here. Just his tone hardened, face cold, enough for Jane Chen to see his rage had peaked. He signaled for Jane Chen to go outside and talk. Jane Chen acted as if she didn't notice, withdrawing her gaze. When Grace Wen tried to take those earrings, she swiftly snatched the box first. Then right in front of everyone, she removed the earrings she was wearing, replacing them with the pair in the box. Grace Wen tried to keep a mild expression, reminding Chen, "These earrings Mom already gave to me. You wearing them like this isn't quite right." Jane Chen finished putting on the second one. "These are what Grandma left for me. Your foster mom has no right to give them to you. My things, only when I don't want them anymore, can you take. I haven't agreed and you took them. That's robbery." Mila Lan protected Grace Wen. "This has nothing to do with your sister. I said I wanted to give them to her." Jane Chen, "The earrings are Chen family heirlooms. Grace Wen is just adopted. Has she entered the family registry? Giving heirlooms to an outsider? Aren't you afraid that Chen ancestors will rise from their graves to settle with you?" A madam, close to Mila Lan, stepped in. "Jane Chen, how can you talk to your mother like that?" Jane Chen glanced at her. "What the hell does it have to do with you?" Scram! Several ladies close to Grace Wen chimed in. "Jane Chen, it's just a pair of earrings. Anyway, when is your sister? Do you have to be so aggressive?" Jane Chen, "Don't stand there acting all high and mighty. You all scram too." Jane Chen kept slapping faces left and right, making Mila Lan lose all dignity, angry to the point of shaking. Grace Wen supported her, tactfully speaking, "Mom, forget it. If Chen likes them, let her take them. I won't take them anymore." Jane Chen sneered. "You won't take them anymore? Were they ever yours? What right do you have to say take or not? Tonight's play was your setup, right? Teaming up with Tiffany Yue to provoke me, forcing me to admit Charles Feng doesn't love me anymore, making me see my position in this Chen family. Fine, I'll play along. I'm pissed now. So what? What are you gonna do to me? Kick me out of the Chen family? Let me point you the way. Gary Hui is divorced, lacking a wife. Anyway, you two." A resounding slap landed on Jane Chen's face. Mila Lan screamed in fury. "What nonsense are you spouting? Daring to slander your sibling's reputation like that. You're really crazy." Jane Chen wasn't just crazy. She wanted to get to business right away. "Try slapping me one more time, Mom. Do you believe if I expose it, Grace Wen will never marry in this life?" Expose? Expose what? The gossiping crowd immediately perked up their ears. Only Charles Feng frowned. He'd known Jane Chen since childhood, so understood her better than anyone. The more this girl suffered, the louder her voice, the wilder her antics. But she never went crazy like this. Something's off. Tonight she's very strange. The commotion in the hall was too big. George Hong and Son had been entertaining guests in the study, hearing unclear noises, thinking it was lively downstairs, only now realizing something was wrong. Charles Feng saw the father-son coming down the stairs. He stepped closer and grabbed Jane Chen's wrist. "Come outside with me." Jane Chen stared at him, her eyes already red-rimmed. "Charles Feng, I'm giving you one last chance." "Really, the last one?" Charles Feng still didn't get what she meant. Jane Chen forcefully shook off his hand. Then, under everyone's shocked gazes, one hand grabbed Tiffany Yue. The other grabbed Grace Wen, dragging both out. Tiffany Yue instinctively struggled, but Grace Wen glanced at her, and she immediately went silent. There was a swimming pool in the yard. Jane Chen was famously a land duck. Couldn't swim at all. No one expected her to kick each one straight in. After kicking both Grace Wen and Tiffany Yue into the water, she jumped in herself. As she was submerged, Jane Chen heard 4 voices. One was her biological brother, Gary Hu. He called, "Wen." One was her biological father, George Hong. He called, "Wen." One was her biological mother, Mila Lan, also calling, "Wen." And the last was her fiancé, Charles Feng. He called, "Yo Wei." Before her vision fully blurred, she saw 2 people jump in first. Gary hugged Grace Wen. Charles Feng held Tiffany Yue tight. After the 4 surfaced, Mila Lan fumbled, wrapping a robe tightly around Grace Wen. Charles Feng ignored his own sorry state, full of fear as he held Tiffany Yue in his arms. Both Grace Wen and Tiffany Yue could swim. They only worried those 2 would catch cold, forgetting Jane Chen couldn't swim. Of course, Jane Chen was rescued too. With so many people, someone was bound to see her struggling in the water. A young man fished her out and gallantly lent her his jacket. After Charles Feng confirmed Tiffany Yue was fine, he calmed down. Sensing a gaze, he turned, his body suddenly freezing. Jane Chen soaked from head to toe, sitting on the ground, a men's suit jacket over her shoulders, long lashes trembling, eyes misty, staring at him. She didn't cry or make a fuss, just silent, to a scary degree, totally abnormal. If it were before, Jane Chen would have started cursing already. Charles Feng suddenly remembered her words earlier, "I'm giving you one last chance." Suddenly he sensed, from this moment, something was quietly vanishing. At first, he didn't know what, but soon after he understood. After the chaos, guests tactfully left. Jane Chen went to her room to shower and change. Grace Wen took Tiffany Yue to her room. Charles Feng went to Gary Huey's room. A while later, everyone tidied up and came downstairs. Tiffany Yue still stayed in the room. George Hong, upon seeing Jane Chen, scolded her harshly. He valued Face greatly. Tonight, such a big incident. He'd lost all dignity. Jane Chen ignored his rage, casually walked around and plopped onto the single sofa. She took out her phone and sent a message. Charles Feng's phone buzzed lightly. He instinctively glanced at Jane Chen, then picked it up to check. 100. Before he could react, Jane Chen's voice rang out. "I'm breaking off the engagement with Charles Feng. Cancel the wedding." Charles Feng jerked his head up. "What did you say? Cancel the wedding?" The Chen family all turned to look at her, unable to believe their ears. Only Grace Wen quickly averted her gaze, leisurely smoothing her dried hair, lips curling in smug satisfaction. Charles Feng was convinced Jane Chen was just being dramatic again, irritably ruffling his hair. "Jane Chen, can you stop causing trouble?" Jane Chen took the ginger tea from the nanny, gently swirling it. "Charles Feng, I was away for 5 years. Right after I returned, you said you loved Tiffany Yue. You wanted to cancel, but I didn't want to let go, so I clung on. I once wanted to bind you with marriage, but for Tiffany Yue, you've hurt me time and again. So I decided to give you 100 chances. Each time you hurt me, I'd deduct a point. If before the wedding the points are all deducted, I'd accept fate. Actually, I didn't deduct for every fight. Only when you stabbed deep did I note it." She pointed at his phone, her beautiful sharp features showing clear weariness. "But, look, even though I loosened the rules so many times, the 100 points are still all gone. Now I'm completely sure you don't love me anymore. You want to marry Tiffany Yue, right? Go ahead, I'll step aside for you two." Charles Feng was also holding ginger tea. After hearing Jane Chen's word, he was a bit stunned, until a resounding slap echoed in the living room. Jane Chen got slapped again. It was George Hong, now both cheeks swollen evenly. "You were the one insisting on engagement at first. Now you say cancel and it's done? Invitations all sent out. Cancel now. Where do I put this old face? George Hong had been discussing business in the study tonight, which hadn't gone smoothly. His mood already terrible. The fine birthday party turned into a joke by Jane Chen, making him even more furious. Now hearing her demand to cancel the Feng marriage, rage exploded. You're arrogant and bossy. Plus that spoiled, rebellious temper. Besides, Charles, what decent guy would take you? Charles already said he won't marry that Tiffany your way. Your status won't be affected. What more do you want? Can't endure a bit? From your high school incident, your reputation was already ruined. In his fury, George Hong slipped up, suddenly mentioning the high school thing. The living room fell into eerie silence. Mila Lan, reacting, hurriedly ran to pull his arm, but too late. Crash! Jane Chen drained the ginger tea, then smashed the third glass tonight. This time, strangely, no one spoke up. Even George Hong shut up, face showing clear regret. Jane Chen, like a stranger, turned to Charles Feng. Cancel the wedding. Do you agree? Charles Feng looked at her bloodless face, yet utterly calm. Took a deep breath. Low voice. How can I agree? Before, when I wanted to cancel, you refused. You even boldly went to my uncle. You're his savior. He forced me to marry you. In the Feng family, who dares defy my uncle? Jane Chen said nothing more, picked up her phone, and stood. Before leaving, she thumbs up toward Grace. When? You're great. Tonight I finish this play with you. Goal achieved. You must be smug, huh? But I'm not happy at all. So stay home. Wash your neck clean and wait for me to settle. Biting cold wind. Jane Chen stepped out and called Monica Tang, but the other was off. She thought a bit, then called another number. This time it connected. Jane Chen, the man's low voice full of surprise, clearly very unexpected. Jane Chen replied, Monica's phone is off, so I called you directly. Tyler Zhao, can you give me Daniel Yan's number? In the classically styled private room, Tyler Zhao tilted his head slightly, glancing at the man being toasted beside. Even more surprised. What do you need him for? Something. Daniel Yan was Charles Feng's uncle. Their relationship not great. Jane Chen loved Charles Feng, so barely interacted with Daniel Yan. Why suddenly want to find Daniel Yan? I want to cancel the engagement with Charles Feng Dai. Tyler Zhao thought he misheard. Had to ask again. After confirming, he was silent a while. Finally sighed. That brat Charles Feng really isn't trustworthy. He asked if Jane Chen was in a hurry. Jane Chen said yes. Tyler Zhao covered the receiver, elbowed the man beside lightly. Hey Daniel, the little princess from the Chen family wants to cancel with your nephew. She wants to see you. Daniel Yan's movement paused slightly. He was silent a bit, then set down the glass. His low, husky voice full of authority. Tell her to come here. Tyler Zhao gave Jane Chen an address. Me and old Daniel are eating here. About half an hour left. You can still make it if you come now. Uncle Daniel Yan Dado, Tiffany Yawai, came to the birthday party as Grace Wen's close friend. After tonight's commotion, she seemed quite awkward. Mila Lan saw her coming downstairs. Just wanted to rush and strangle her. Though she and Jane Chen didn't get along, she was still her biological daughter. Family conflicts, however deep, were fine. In short, couldn't let outsiders bully. Otherwise, only the Chen family loses face. Moreover, who was Charles Feng? Feng family young master. Such a catch. How could let another snatch it? Mila Lan was already fuming when seeing Charles Feng anxiously rush, grabbing Tiffany Yawei's hand, fearing she'd be troubled. Her anger surged straight to her brain. But the harsh words about to spill were held back by Grace Wen. Mom, I'm even madder than you now. I treated Tiffany Yue as a friend in vain. Didn't expect her to secretly steal Chen's man. When changing, I already scolded her. She said her status doesn't match Charles Feng, so she doesn't dare dream of entering the Feng family. And Charles Feng won't marry her either. Grace when not mentioned Jane Chen kicking them into water tonight. Chen kicking Tiffany Yue into water already pissed Charles off a lot. Earlier, she threatened to cancel. If you and Dad scold and trouble more, what if he gets mad and really demands to cancel? Chen does have the grace of saving his uncle, but if he insists on canceling, the Feng family won't for that grace force him to the end, being cancelled by the Fengs. Then, Chen will be single forever. Hearing cancel, Mila Lan forced herself calm. Lately, Jane Chen had pissed her off endlessly. Lucky Wen was by her side. This smart, calm daughter, guiding. Mila Lan suppressed her anger. Couldn't help complaining. Your sister really went crazy tonight. So unreasonable. How can she casually say, cancel wedding? Grace Wen gently comforted her. Mom, relax. You know, Chen's temper. Hasn't she caused trouble plenty? Just scaring Charles Feng. Few days it'll be fine. Mila Lan nodded, in her heart agreeing much with this. Indeed, these years, the youngest personality got weirder, especially after that high school incident. She couldn't understand her anymore, like a different person. The only unchanged was her feelings for Charles Feng, so she couldn't really cancel. Just sulking. Charles Feng worried the Chen family would trouble Tiffany Yue, so deliberately waited for her in the living room a bit. When he escorted Tiffany Yue out, at the door, no sign of Jane Chen. Driver went to get the car. The two waited at the door. Tiffany Yue hugged Charles Feng's arm. Feng, Jane Chen must hate me to the bone. She pressed fully into Charles Feng, full of grievance. I already told her. I won't compete for Mrs. Feng with her. Why won't she let me go? Charles Feng's heart was also irritated. Tonight he hadn't planned to go public. Tiffany Yue's matter was a bit impulsive, but that's his nature. Can't watch the one he likes troubled in public. Moreover, Jane Chen lately too arrogant, daring cold war him 2 months. Daring bully Tiffany Yue right in front of him. If he didn't step up to protect Tiffany Yue, how to curb Jane Chen's haughtiness, how to teach her a lesson, how to make her know her place. In irritation, Charles Feng lacked patience to coax Tiffany Yue. He pulled his hand out, then hugged her, tone softening. No, you've been wrong. Your birthday's soon. Whatever gift you want, I'll indulge. Tiffany Yue held back tears. Anything? Charles Feng nodded. Yes. Since Jane Chen returned, she had suffered plenty grievances. Tiffany Yue happily hugged his waist. Then at that time set work aside for 5 days with me. You're the best gift. Sure. Charles Feng saw in her eyes only him. Satisfaction rising, heart stirring slightly, bent to kiss her. After the kiss, Tiffany Yue looped arms around his neck, probing. Feng, what if this time Jane Chen isn't just sulking, and she really insists on canceling with you? She won't. Charles Feng never worried about that hypothesis. That's her personality, always sulking. Actually, he hoped Jane Chen could be firm once. But Jane Chen's love for him was clingy. The kind chase away won't go. Tonight, she was strange. Probably just too angry. Few days, she'll be fine herself. Jane Chen's self-healing ability great. He knew too well. Tiffany Yue's eyes flickered, said nothing more. The address Tyler Zhao gave was a private club. Fu Uzi Club on Huiyan Road, one of Jianyu's top classy spots. Decorated in Republic style, rich in culture. From the overpass you could see the exquisite antique look. luxurious, and elegant. Jane Chen had been here once. After college entrance exams she was shipped abroad. Returned last year. Charles Feng promised to pick her up, but flaked. Said busy entertaining clients. Important ones. Couldn't leave. Grace Wen said she just came from Fuji. Saw Charles Feng there. Separated 5 years. She missed him madly. So right after dropping luggage rushed to find him. Fuji membership only. She had no card, couldn't enter. Then, coincidentally, Grace, when returned, said forgot something so came back, conveniently brought her in. Thinking now, no coincidence. Grace, when deliberate, she deliberately led her here. Deliberately let her witness Charles Feng and Tiffany Yue's intimacy. Deliberately provoke her. She wanted her and Charles Feng to sever. She didn't want her marrying into Feng's. That day, she followed Grace went in. She pointed her to Charles Feng's room. Pushed door in. A chaotic banquet table, full of party wreckage traces. Probably the fun ended. When she entered only Charles Feng and Tiffany Yue left. Charles Feng drank and face reddened. Unknown how much downed. He was hugging Tiffany Yue tight, chin on her shoulder. Tiffany Yue nestled in his chest, like a little bird. I impulsively ran and separated them. Even pushed Tiffany Yue down. Charles Feng sobered halfway. Seeing me seemed glad, but after seeing Tiffany Yue on ground, his face changed immediately. Back then, Tiffany Yue didn't dare be rude to me. After all, I was Charles Feng's. Just returned, white moonlight. She still needed to probe Charles Feng's attitude toward me. So that day she still pretended, meekly explaining. Jane Chen, don't misunderstand, Mr. Feng was too drunk and uncomfortable, so borrowed my shoulder to sober a bit. Charles Feng then glanced at Tiffany Yue, echoed her. Earlier I was dizzy. Borrowed Secretary Ye's shoulder a moment. Jane Chen, cursed myself stupid more than once. Actually, back then, calm a bit. Would have seen something off. The problem was, I trusted Charles Feng 100%. I trusted him too much. Whatever he said I believed blindly. I also once believed Charles Feng wouldn't betray me. After all, back then we loved so deeply. I also trusted Tiffany Yue. In high school I helped her plenty. I thought Tiffany Yue wouldn't be so heartless as to eye my man. Result, blind trust blinded me. They secretly hooked up behind me. Yet I foolishly dreamed of future. Even stupidly told Charles Feng to take care of Tiffany Yue more. Truly too stupid. Jane Chen, no membership card so couldn't enter. After texting Tyler Zhao, could only wait on roadside. In daze, suddenly heard someone call my name. The comer wore glasses. Scholarly look. I recognized him. Philip Vu, Daniel Yan's assistant. Last year, Charles Feng wanted cancel. I, unwilling, let go. At dead end, no other way. I boldly sought the Feng family power holder. Charles Feng's uncle, Daniel Yan, thought my luck good. Years ago I saved Daniel Yan's life once. So, he owed me huge favor. I used that life-saving grace to beg him. Daniel Yan spoke. Charles Feng indeed dared not mention cancel anymore. What forced, won't last. Philip Vu glanced at my swollen red cheek. Behind glasses, eyes flashed surprise, but quickly regained calm. Miss Chen, please follow me. Knights, enveloped. Black Bentley parked quietly roadside. Philip Vu opened rear door, slightly bowed, gestured inviting me in. I bent and got in car. After entering, discovered Daniel Yan inside. Car ceiling light on. Warm yellow glow. Covered him like gilded. Features somewhat hazy under light, but still couldn't hide handsome sharp lines. High straight nose. Perfect jawline. Even Adam's apple exuded charm. The man holding Jeongyu's economic lifeline. That face, truly no flaw. Just his businessman aura, too strong. Just sitting still. That cold, authoritative nobility. Enough to make people feel oppressed. I just sat, awkwardly. Car door, closed from outside. In confined space. I shed usual rebelliousness. Politely spoke. Uncle. Actually, Daniel Yan only 32 this year, just over me by 5 years. Should call brother. But since he's Charles Feng's uncle, I always called uncle following him. On crossed legs at tablet. He viewing emails. Hearing call. Fingertip paused. Slowly turned to look at me. Ignoring that oppressive, restless feeling. I always found his voice extremely captivating. Deep, cold, but thick and masculine. Like cellos, resonant tone. Penetrating, numbing power. Pity he speaks little. Each word, precious as gold. Easy to dead-end conversation. He, and silent. I could only initiate topic. Tyler Zhao Do. Seeing him slightly frown, I realized slip. Hurriedly corrected. Uncle Tyler where? This, not my fault. Addressing Tyler Zhao, always cumbersome. Tyler Zhao Daniel Yan's best bud. Same age. Same status. I call Daniel Yan uncle. Logically, call Tyler Zhao uncle. Problem. Tyler Zhao Monica Tang's fiancé. Following Monica Tang can't call uncle. I called Tyler Zhao. Now, meeting Daniel Yan. Not seeing Tyler Zhao so slip. Blurted brother. Calling one uncle one brother. Before Daniel Yan. Bit improper. Sounds off. I quickly corrected. Fearing more awkward didn't bother. Where Tyler Zhao went. Not waiting Daniel Yan speak. I went straight to point. Uncle, last year when Charles Feng wanted cancel, I begged you once. And you helped. I know this time I shouldn't bother you again. But I really need no other way. I sat straight, hands clasped on knees. After water incident, no makeup. Face plain pale from cold. Making handprint on cheek start clear. Daniel Yan's ink-deep eyes lingered on those two reds. No emotion shown. I lowered eyes, dared not look him. Voice with plea. I want cancel with Charles Feng. Because fears you he dares not initiate cancel. Uncle, I don't want trouble you. You just tell Charles Feng. From now on you won't interfere our matters anymore. As long as Daniel Yan lets go. Charles Feng sure immediately cancel. Hey, that much. Given chance, he'll kick me right away. I finished, but long no response. Heart started anxious. About to look up. Heard Daniel Yan ask, "What's with your face?" Could he think Charles Feng hit me? True, he saved me. But my face. I instinctively touched cheek. Then remembered just slapped twice. No, my parents hit. Hearing explanation. Daniel Yan probably guessed tonight something happened. He about to ask more when phone buzzed. Message. Tyler Zhao sent. What? I told you, tonight Jane Chen must shocked hard. Indeed, your nephew real jerk. Usually acts righteous. Turns out secretly keeping mistress. 2 messages back to back, followed by long video. Daniel Yan glanced at me. I'll step out smoke. Wait a bit. I needing favor. No guts disagree. Yes. Daniel Yan got out. Philip Vu waiting outside immediately approached. Daniel Yan raised hand for cigarette. Puffing while watching video fully. I waited in car about 15 minutes. I guessed he got out. Probably way if help me or not. Back, probably answer. So when Daniel Yan opened door in, I immediately sat up straight, nervously waiting, but finally, he only said, "Perhaps now you need rest." Daniel Yan after video. Knew tonight I suffered huge grievance. Worried, I impulsive momentary wrong decision. He wanted me home. Calm. Go home, sleep well. If tomorrow wake, still want, cancel, then find me again. He feared I'd regret. So gave me time think carefully. I understood his intent. Deep down, I knew. With my past clingy love, chase won't go toward Charles Feng. No one believes I really want dump him. Uncle, my temper impulsive, true sometimes reckless, but toward you, I always respect fear, if not last resort. I absolutely dare not bother you. Jane Chen raised head, looked straight. Daniel Yan, voice calm, mood stable, not half joking. First time begged you help keep engagement, to keep Charles Feng. I sincere. And this time, seek you. I extremely serious. Daniel Yan seemed saw determination in my eyes. His low husky voice, slight stern. He mentioned wedding time. Only 3 months left to wedding. You know if now cancel, what you'll face. Wedding cancelled. Whatever reason. Laughed at, gossip, always me Jane Chen alone. Most disadvantaged me. Consequences following. Jane Chen of course understood, but I not afraid. Dignity what crap? I tossed long ago. Keeping that useful? Laugh. Just. Who wants laugh? Dive in. Laugh to death deserved. Uncle, I decided find you already thought carefully. This wedding, I lock cancel. Charles Feng, I lock don't need any more. Jane Chen thought Daniel Yan repeating. Feared she'd regret then bother him again, thinking he saw her burden. So she raised hand, swear, uncle, really, this last time. After this, you pretend I never saved you. I promise, never bother you again. Actually saving Daniel Yan that year complete coincidence. On way she from grandma's grave back, had accidentally witnessed an accident. The white sedan somehow collided and flipped completely upside down. The front end smashed beyond recognition. Black smoke billowing up. Sparks starting to ignite from under the car. The spot was remote. Right at dusk. No one around. Jane Chen was truly terrified then. But after calling the police, she still ran over on instinct. Both drivers and passenger seats had people. The man in the passenger seat begged her, telling her to save the driver first. The problem was the driver's side scene was too horrific. The driver completely jammed. She tried several times but couldn't budge an inch. Plus the driver was already unconscious. The passenger side situation was better. The man only had his leg stuck. She smashed the window glass, used all her strength to pull the deformed door open, crawled in to help free his leg. The fire burned fiercer, crackling explosions, sounding like a countdown clock to life. Jane Chen was smoked to nearly unable to open her eyes. Luckily, the man was still alert, could use strength to cooperate when pulling him out. Jane Chen even admired herself. After that, the car exploded, flames engulfing the entire vehicle. She was scared out of her wits. Truly lucky to survive. Then her hands and arms were injured too. On the way in the ambulance to hospital, only learn it. Turns out the one she saved was Daniel Yan. Saving was unintended, voluntary. Originally, she shouldn't cling demanding favor repayment. But ultimately, for Charles Feng, she used that grace to beg once. Now showing face seeking him second time. No more next time. She herself felt utterly embarrassed. The car dead silent. Under Jane Chen's expectant gaze, Daniel Yan slowly spoke. Last question. If Charles Feng marries someone else, what will you do? Jane Chen froze. Marry someone else? Tiffany Yue? Charles Feng so infatuated with Tiffany Yue. Once their wedding canceled, he'd surely bring her home. Even if bringing Tiffany Yue into Feng family, hundredfold difficult. If Charles Feng marries Tiffany Yue, I also beg to let go. From now on, whatever he does unrelated to me. Jane Chen said, him married even better. That way us two completely done. Turn new page. That was her sincere words. Now she even hoped Tiffany Yahweh could fulfill wish, marry Charles Feng. Charles Feng's mother originally despised poor loved rich, valued class, and matching status to extreme. Even her Chen family heiress status she dismissed, often sarcastic, troubling her every way. She could engage Charles Feng, not thanks to childhood betrothal, but thanks to Daniel Yan's influence. And Tiffany Yahweh, poor, lowly born, in Charles Feng's mother's eyes mere shrimp. Tiffany Yahweh really marry in. Surely, epic mother-in-law, daughter-in-law war. Feng family from now, no single peaceful day. Daniel Yan with deep eyes stared at her a while, then said, good, you've thought carefully. Don't regret later. So he agreed to help. Jane Chen sighed relief, full gratitude. Thank you, uncle. Daniel Yan still followed her with profound gaze. When she thanked, done about to exit, he suddenly called, Jane Chen. Jane Chen just about to open door. Pause, turned to look him. Daniel Yan said, third time's charm, the life-saving grace I owe you. Can fulfill 3 wishes for you. You've used 2 already. Still, 1 left. Jane Chen blanked. Huh? Still, 1 more wish fulfillment. How such a deal he not find her annoying? Just 1 life-saving grace. Yet she thick-faced, sought him twice. Yet he generously bonuses 1 more wish. While she's still dazed, Daniel Yan opened door exited. His warm low voice sounded again. Save Assistant Philip's number. When think what want just call him. Before closing door, Daniel Yan paused a bit, then casually added, this 3rd chance. Whatever you want fine. No matter how excessive, no problem. As long as you say, I'll definitely agree. Jane Chen. Yes, thank you, uncle. When Jane Chen snapped back, Daniel Yan's figure gone from car. She hurriedly turned to exit too. Her hand just touched handle. Someone entered driver's seat. Philip Wu. Miss Chen. Please save my phone number. Philip Wu leaned back slightly, tone very mild. Daniel Yan's promise. Not anyone wants can have. Jane Chen not dumb. Great gift, why not take? Sure. She just pulled phone, saw it powered off. Battery dead. Philip Wu gave her his business card. Philip Wu offered drive her home. Jane Chen waved. No need. Trouble you too much. Not trouble, Mr. Yan's party not over. Drive you home then, back still in time. Philip Wu buckling seatbelt smiled. You know car. Mr. Yan said, Sky this late. You taxi alone unsafe. So told me must take you home. Jane Chen thought phone dead, no cash. So no more refuse. Then thank uncle for me, okay. Who said this Feng family uncle cold-blooded? Selfish, heartless, huh? Truly false rumor. Super nice. Daniel Yan, back to club. Straight to 3rd floor. Party ended half hour ago. Group gathered in room playing cards. Tyler Zhao saw Daniel Yan enter. Waved hand cards at him. Daniel Yan approached. Immediately, someone yielded seat. Took cards, glanced situation. His turn, drew 1 throughout. Tyler Zhao leaned close, asked, how? That little princess really insists cancel? When Jane Chen came, Tyler Zhao planned go down with Daniel Yan, but he stopped. Daniel Yan said this little girl here to ask favor. Too many she'd feel awkward. Must save her some face. Tyler Zhao thought right so didn't. But Jane Chen suddenly wants sever Charles Feng. Really, shocked him extremely. These two, Jane Chen and Charles Feng, originally childhood sweethearts, grew together. From cradle betrothal, Charles Feng, 25 this year. Jane Chen just turned 24. They entangled 24 years. 24 years. Long, endless time. Long enough Charles Feng from pure youth, like cool breeze, turned into scum male, worldly. Long enough. Jane Chen, from Chen family, little princess adored by Al, became pitiful girl. Dad no love. Mom no care. Even despised by own childhood sweetheart. The only uneroded by time. Perhaps Jane Chen's love for Charles Feng. Jane Chen always won heart. Not Charles Feng, then no marry. Yet now, suddenly awaken? Surely, something happened. Tyler Zhao knew today Grace Wen birthday. Not he intentionally noted, but earlier at table someone mentioned. Said tonight over half city's talented young masters, all gathered at Chen's. He felt Jane Chen's mood tonight. Sure related to that birthday party. So, he found friends who attended tonight to gossip. Indeed, got to business. His friend even sent video. After watching, even man like him felt suffocated for Jane Chen. Regardless why fell water, but biological parents, brother, only worried, adopted first. And fiancé, went, save another woman first. Truly too frustrating. No wonder Jane Chen went mad like that. Pair her past personality. Tonight, surely flip, Chen house, roof. But result after from water, she silent strangely. Monica Tang once said, not fear, Jane Chen chaos. Only fear, she suddenly silent. Chaos means matter still salvageable, means she's still giving chance to coax. But once she's suddenly silent, suddenly cold, means she truly despaired. So this time, Jane Chen seek Daniel Yan, sure completely cut feelings with Charles Feng. Daniel Yan didn't answer Tyler Zhao's question. He folded cards, suddenly remembered something. Looked up at Tyler Zhao, where Monica Tang. Tyler Zhao peeked his cards. On trip. Why ask her? Daniel Yan ignored Tyler Zhao's peeking. Call her. Ask if she knows what happened at Chen's tonight. If knows, sure she'll go with Jane Chen. If not, tell her. Let her go to Jane Chen now. Tyler Zhao peeked again. Not playing? Lately you feeding me losses too much. Hard finally let me breathe a bit. Daniel Yan directly showed cards before him. Just call. I yield you this round. Tyler Zhao. That called yield? Fine, I need. Basically, he never won this guy. Whatever win way. Tonight must win one to know. Win then post Facebook. Show off. Tyler Zhao called Monica Tang. Other side picked fast. Noisy sounds from line. Tyler Zhao. Monica Tang voice hurried. I just landed. Now bit urgent. If your matter not important, I hang. She just landed. Turned on saw. Bunch missed calls from Jane Chen. About call back. Tyler Zhao's call came. Landed. Now Tyler Zhao remembered. Jane Chen said her phone off. You back Jiangyu? Monica Tang said fast yes. Today Grace Wen birthday. I back to be with Jane Chen. Early tomorrow I fly again. Tyler Zhao realized. Monica Tang still unaware. Tonight incident. Jane Chen's side just had issue. If you back, stay with her well. That work. I assign other replace. You stay Jiangyu. After hang, Tyler Zhao suddenly felt off. Turned look. Daniel Yan. You seem care Jane Chen too much, huh? Else, why suddenly ask Monica Tang? Daniel Yan this round played open cards. Ignored table's curious eyes. Drew card through. She saved me once. Tyler Zhao casually peeked his cards. Played suppressing card. Again life-saving grace. If I her, I'd made you repay with body long ago. Daniel Yan ignored him. He took phone texted Charles Feng. 8 a.m. tomorrow. Meet at company. remember bring Tiffany Yahweh too. You man up. Jane Chen, after return country, stayed old house 2 months then moved out. Grandma left her several houses. She chose Riverside apartment to live. Environment here great. Most important far from old house worlds apart. One south, one north, opposite directions. River wind blew strong. North winds howling, rustled leaves, non-stop. Philip Vu followed Jane Chen out car. Took medicine bag from passenger gave her. This Mr. Yan instructed buy for you. Jane Chen, slightly surprised. True midway, Philip Vu stopped pharmacy once. He said, buy hangover, meds for Daniel Yan. Unexpected bought for her too. She took, opened C. Swelling reduction ointment. Jane Chen touched cheek. Eyes flickered. One tube cheap. But at her lone warrior moment, someone cared her wound. Truly touched her. Ask him thank uncle for me. Okay? Philip Vu nodded. Promised relay. Said he. Not leave yet. Seemed still something say. Miss Chen knowledgeable. He hesitated. Jane Chen signaled say straight. Philip Vu then spoke. Chen Vice, president of Evergreen Group, has improper thoughts toward our Mr. Yan. Mr. Yan directly refused but seems she not given up. Evergreen's Chen VP. Grace Wen? Grace Wen likes Daniel Yan. Impossible, though new Daniel Yan. Diamond uncle all Jeongyu single women crave. But, ew. Wasn't Grace Wen like Gary High? Grace Wen changed taste. Truly shocking. Jane Chen guessed why Philip Vu told her. So, Philip, you mean want me make Grace Wen extinguish thoughts for uncle, right? You rest easy, this I handle. Daniel Yan helped her so much. Her help back natural. Philip Vu smiled. Then trouble Miss Chen. Small matter. This Miss Chen. Philip Vu adjusted glasses. Half joke, half serious. Actually tonight, I thought you'd use that life-saving grace to require Mr. Yan marry you. Jane Chen. What? Philip Vu. First, if you marry Mr. Yan, you become Charles Feng's superior. He see you must respectfully call little aunt. Then you handle him anyway. Second, marry Mr. Yan. Find sturdiest backer this city. After no one dare bully you. And third, marry Mr. Yan. Snatchman Grace, Wen secretly loves. What revenge sweeter than this? Chairman Chen and Madam Chen dare not favor anymore. Philip Vu analyzed, point by point. Full implication. So I surprised seeing you. Only require cancel, not demand. Marry Mr. Yan. Because that's your best retreat. Jane Chen. Philip Vu's words. Like unblocked her random meridians. Right. Why she not think become Charles Feng's superior? Use little aunt title torment him forever. Plus, hug Jeonyu's biggest thigh. No one dare rude her. Snatchman. Grace Wen likes. Whatever reason, exhilarating. But thought just emerged, extinguished immediately. How Daniel Yan marry her? She almost became his niece-in-law. If he marry her, where put face? Man like Daniel Yan, values, honor, much torque. If she dare speak, probably Daniel Yan slap her vanish too. She dared not. After seeing Philip Vu off, Jane Chen carried bag into house. The apartment, Riverside over 190 square meters. Alone living felt empty. Pushed door in dark expanse. Cold air hit from room. Turned light on not warmer much. After night, 400 round battle old house. Plus tormented underwater half day. Jane Chen's tensed spirit finally collapsed. Closed door. Straight back slumped. She kicked off heels. Not even. Strength. Slip. Indoor. Slippers. She barefoot to study. Rummage drawer for something. Thick. Black diary. I sank deep into sofa. Inside diary recorded Charles Feng's deductions. Each time I sent him number, I noted deduction reason here. Reasons detail. Filled whole book. Jane Chen flipped few pages. To last page. Previous entry before Cold War. 98 points. Also main reason they Cold War. Pen marks deep tore paper. Showed how furious I then. That day, they wedding photo shoot. Shooting Charles Feng got call. Wordless left straight. I held long train. Forced step high heels. Led group. Search him forever. Ankle sprain. Just about. Report police. Charles Feng phone connected. Yawai's car rear-ended. I'm taking her hospital. Wedding photos postponed few days. I extremely furious. Photographer my overseas teacher. God in photography, back visit family. I especially valued this Charles Feng wedding shoot. Every tiny detail wanted perfection. Went lengths invite teacher. Yet teacher rush airport. Shoot done he leave. Next teacher back unknown when. Only last set, not shot. About 10 minutes done. Yet Charles Feng couldn't wait even 10 minutes. That rear end how coincidental. Day I and Charles Feng set, wedding date. Tiffany Yue stare slip foot, hospitalized. So, Charles Feng stayed hospital watch her 3 days. Day I and Charles Feng choose, wedding house. Tiffany Yue, blocked by thugs. Charles Feng rushed beat them dragged to station. Day I and Charles Feng choose rings. Tiffany Yue, Viva. Charles Feng made me off, car midway. Left me in rain to care Tiffany Yahweh. Till now rings not chosen. This photo shoot. Tiffany Yahweh rear-ended. In short, whenever I and Charles Feng together over half day. Tiffany Yahweh sure accident. That rear end. Tiffany Yahweh not even skin scratch. And called rear end my ass. Others. Car parked roadside steady. Tiffany Yue rammed into them. I told Charles Feng she deliberate. Charles Feng cursed me vicious. Said I venomous heart. I slapped Tiffany Yue. So Charles Feng slapped me back. That slap truly chilled my heart. Reason after I still clung. Thought still 2 last chances. Just remaining. Unwillingness bothering. Jane Chen flipped diary first page. Cold fingertips clamped thin paper. Yanked hard. Tore it. Shredded small pieces. Threw straight trash. I tore whole diary. Torn. I started erase all Charles Feng traces home. Actually not much stuff. Since I returned, Charles Feng already smitten Tiffany Yoi. He never stepped this apartment. Items I threw were gifts I thick-faced, demanded. Nothing valuable, like lighter he used, or cloth Doll Street bought. His keychain. Throw all done. Most annoying. Wall photos all I shot him. I had camera dedicated shoot him. Made photo wall and albums. 2. Total. Threw all clean. Kept none. Cleaned up. From bottom drawer. Nightstand pulled 3 exquisitely wrapped boxes. But looked bit old. These gifts I bought before return. Used own earned money buy scarf for Mila Lan. Fountain pen for George Hong. Watch for Gary High. Then couldn't give. Later, no need give anymore. All with Charles Feng's stuff pile. I dumped all downstairs trash. From today, this romance. Romance took my whole youth. Finally ends. So-called family ties also dissipated completely. Handled that stuff. Jane Chen sat dazed sofa long time. Suddenly, I didn't know what to do. Till thirsty, I stood pour water. Drank. I stood blank there. Ponder. Next what? Might as well mop floor. Monica Tang has my apartment key. Also set fingerprint. When she opened, entered. I still holding mop scrubbing hard. Heard noise. I looked up, took moment, compose. Monica? Didn't you say on trip? Just saw me. Monica, tang tears streamed. She foot, kicked, door shut, flung background rushed me. Babe, let's sis hug, quick. Jane Chen, originally haughty passionate, clearly not crying, but now looked like porcelain touch shatter. I like about to crumble. On way here, Monica Tang got from Tyler Zhao. A video. What happened? Chen's tonight. She roughly grasped. That damn Charles Feng! Philip Vu drove into club yard, texted Daniel Yan, reported back. Room party still going. But Daniel Yan tossed cards left first. Tyler Zhao got him fed several rounds, winning ecstatically. In excitement wanted more rounds, so didn't follow. Car started. Daniel Yan asked Philip Vu, bought her medicine? Yes. Philip Vu leisurely turned wheel. Miss Chen asked me, thank you. Daniel Yan, full weary, leaned back seat. Lately, trips, non-stop, sleep, erratic. Earlier drank some wine, felt more tired. Philip Vu mentioned second. I followed instruction, hinted Miss Chen, but she just took as joke. Daniel Yan, not unexpected. Philip Vu glanced rear view, weighed words, cautiously asked, Mr. Yan, you really plan marry Miss Chen? Originally driver take Jane Chen home, but Mr. Yan personally told him go, plus instructed 2. 1. Buy medicine. 2. Say those implying words to Jane Chen. He extremely shocked, initially dared not ask, but really couldn't hold curiosity. Mr. Yan's intent clearly, want marry Jane Chen. Then what about Miss Feng? Latter Philip Vu absolutely dared not ask. Daniel Yan ignored his question. In silent space, phone suddenly buzzed. Charles Feng calling. Uncle, did Jane Chen tattle to you again? Charles Feng, after taking Tiffany away home, lingered supper with her. Dunn saw Daniel Yan's text. First reaction reading. He assumed Jane Chen tattled. Uncle, did Jane Chen badmouth you away to you? I agreed marry her already. What more she want me do? Tonight too much happened. So Charles Feng's tone, inevitably resentful. Daniel Yan's voice cold. Charles Feng, less fake. Why you agreed not cancel? Don't you know inside? Jane Chen only said, want cancel with you, not mention one word others. He sneered contempt. You guilty yourself. So want blame her. Charles Feng, you still man? Light sarcasm like invisible tornado. Sharp blade stripping Charles Feng's mask. Why initially agreed not cancel? True, Jane Chen used life-saving grace. Beg uncle. And uncle indeed sought him. But if he really dead set cancel, uncle couldn't stop him. After all his own marriage. Just that day, uncle told him, not cancel, you get 2% shares. Cancel those shares to Jane Chen, as compensation. You decide. True, he loved Tiffany away. True wanted marry her. But men who not crave power. He, though Feng, young master. Status, not low. But shares he had not even uncle's fraction. 2% shares though not meet his expectation. But get it, he could surpass. Cousin always secretly competing. So he chose shares. Chose Jane Chen. Getting shares via woman hard say, plus embarrassing. He didn't want Jane Chen know, then use threaten him. So told no one. He felt he did nothing wrong. But indeed, too fake. Once took benefit, he no qualification, talk fairness. After all, no one forced him. Charles Feng dared not retort. Bowed. Uncle rest, easy. I won't cancel. I'll marry Jane Chen. Tonight just misunderstanding. Earlier called but she off. Probably battery dead. Tomorrow I'll find her. Explain everything. Daniel Yan no patience. hear more nagging. 8. I'm tomorrow, don't late. Or, consequences own. When Jane Chen sent 50 to Charles Feng, she started telling herself, if ultimately really let go, she must head high proudly leave. Absolutely no cry. Must real cool. She self-comforted half-year. Tonight, old house she performed well. Not one tear. Almost succeeded. Yet now, Monica Tang's hug wasted all effort. She could 100 poisons immune all malice. But absolutely couldn't resist sincerity care. Just one warm hug enough her drop all defenses. Jane Chen hugged Monica Tang, sobbed heartbrokenly. Choking sobs, her body shook violently, as if enduring torture. What torture? Perhaps filleting flesh, scraping bones, gouging heart. Charles Feng, Dorothy. 3 words took her whole youth, took her heart, etched bone deep. Now, sharpest blade, filleted away, tore her heart apart. Over years, warmth Charles Feng gave imprisoned her, sunk her deep old memories, unable escape. He once like ray illuminating her dark youth path. Pity now, that ray pierced her. To warm another, Monica Tang cautiously hugged tight Jane Chen. Feared slight force would shatter her. At first, she advised few words, but later more heartbroken, more pained for friend, so cried along. Finally she cried harder than Jane Chen. Sobs intermittent, till 2 a.m. fully stopped. Monica Tang asked, want drink? Need blackout drunk? Jane Chen refused. No need. Just discharged. Her stomach couldn't handle such binge. Drink then pain, only herself, bare de raw. After simple hygiene, 2 crawled 1 blanket. Monica Tang heard full birthday party events. Mad almost heart attack. That bitch Grace Wen ultimately act till when? What she wants all got. Why still not let you go? Grace Wen teamed Green Tea Tiffany Yue act display. Truly 1 arrow 3 birds. First, deepen conflict. Jane Chen family. From child to adult, she always did so. Jane Chen's family relations worsen. All her directing. Second, let all see she pampered more Jane Chen. Noble, Jane Chen. She real, Chen, big miss. Third, force Jane Chen sever, Charles Feng. She didn't want Jane Chen marry Feng. Grace Wen since child envied you. Everything wants compete you. Hold Jiangyu, no family better Fengs. She marry anyone can't compare you. So she spent effort separate you two. You, Charles Feng, completely done. Sure she's smug now. Monica Tang asked Jane Chen. Before I advised any, you not listen. This time you really won't give up. You sure no regret? Jane Chen looked ceiling, cried swollen eyes stung. Monica, that diary full. 100 points all deducted, cleaned. He really doesn't love me anymore. I can't self-deceive this path wrong mess. More go more wrong. No break, no rebuild. If now not wait, stubborn force. Sooner later day, I become form, even I despise. So end. She let go Charles Feng. Fulfill him, fulfill boy she once loved madly. And to let go herself. Monica Tang hugged her, softly sighed. How say, way Charles Feng once protected Jane Chen back then. Even she touched. They once truly loved. But them, breakup, inevitable. Because from moment Jane Chen saved Daniel Yan. Their love preset timed bomb. Feng family complex. Internal fights, fierce. Charles Feng's dad, originally old man's most favored. If no Daniel Yan appear. His dad, real Feng power holder. Charles Feng mom already disliked Jane Chen. Mainly because Jane Chen saved Daniel Yan's life. She badmouthed Jane Chen to Charles Feng plenty. Childhood sweethearts, young naive, carefree, no future worry. When Charles Feng young, he assumed feelings with Jane Chen unaffected. Wait, but he grew in Tycoon like Feng's. His mom no pushover. Inevitably day he touch power, and power arouse his ambitions. There'll be day he thinks, if Jane Chen not save Daniel Yan, group successor, surely him. Then, he too turn resent Jane Chen. Them break up unavoidable, just when they still, childhood betrothal, still lovers not broken. Charles Feng changed heart, truly disgusting. Monica, Tang no mention Charles Feng, that scum stinky male anymore. She suddenly remembered another. You said Grace Wen likes Daniel Yan. Jane Chen, true assistant Philip said so. Now I know understand that bitch Grace Wen. What type anymore? Clearly secretly improper with Gary Hui. Why I Daniel Yan too? But Philip Vu sure no reason lie. Highest possibility, Grace Wen knows her Gary High no result. So targets Daniel Yan. After all her ambition, always huge. Monica Tang. You said Daniel Yan gave 3 chances. You used 2. Still, 01. He said anything fine, right? Jane Chen almost couldn't follow her brain. Yeah, right. Monica Tang jumped bed. Excited, patted her shoulder. Tomorrow you find Daniel Yan now for me. Tell him life-saving grace should body repay. You tell him marry you. Jane Chen. Monica Tang still immersed her thoughts. Smile face, brighter. Let me analyze for you. After half-hour non-stop. Content summary matched Philip Vu's words. Conclusion. Daniel Yan, her best retreat. She should take chance, marry Daniel Yan. That way, revenge all. Plus, find super huge backer. Jane Chen. Jane Chen pulled Monica Tang down. Sleep, babe. In dream, anything. She indeed wanted that. But such bold demand. Where she get guts speak, huh? Monica Tang lay beside her. Still not give up. Persuade, I serious. Tomorrow go find Uncle Yan. He himself said anything fine. Anyway, he no wife. You try. This topic, meaningless. Jane Chen closed eyes sought sleep. Then spoke. Tomorrow, probably Uncle Yan find Charles Feng. Wait cancel done then see. 7:30 next morning. Charles Feng's car entered underground parking. Jingshu Group. Tiffany Yahweh passenger. Anxious whole way. Since Uncle Yan notified me last night, she light, torn too. Joy, fear. Joy because her plan, and grace, when seemed perfect success. Jane Chen sending numbers to Charles Feng she knew. Feng drunk, once, joked, told her. Men not believe this. But women very believe. Like her or Grace, when. Jane Chen, sent to 99. Grace Wen said must big move birthday party. She deliberately bumped Jane Chen. Deliberately exposed earrings. Deliberately acted, forced, strip, prove, innocence, crowd. Those earrings grandma, Jane Chen's, relic. Living grandma most doted Jane Chen. She lived with her few years child. Grandma, grandchild, bond deep. Grace Wen too understood Jane Chen. Use grandma relic anger her. Plus Mila Land's favoritism provoke. Sure she'd go mad. Tiffany Yahweh also understood Charles Feng. Knew as long she acted forced prove to that extent. Feng surely rush protect her. Grace Weens said. Jane Chen looks tough. Actually, fragile like glass. Just pull people she cares most attack relentlessly. Not mad strange. Facts proved. Grace Wen truly too understood Jane Chen. Plan effect, good, unbelievable. Even far exceeded expectations. No one could foresee. Jane Chen mad to kick all water like that. Woman's intuition showed. That surely last time Jane Chen tested Charles Feng. Lucky family and fiancé, not choose her. Made her lose dignity before so many. Uncle Yan told Charles Feng today come talk. Cancel engagement. Jane, Chen, Tiffany Yue heard ecstatic. Waited so many years. Finally she saw hope light. Grace, when promised. As long Jane Chen, decisively, sever Charles Feng. She'd make Feng bring her home. She fully trusted Grace Wen. Because originally Feng loved her thanks. Too. But why Uncle Yan require her come too? Tiffany Yahweh thought whole night, whole road. Guessed all possibilities high-low. Finally concluded because Jane Chen tattled, bad-mouthed her to Uncle Yan. Feng, I not go up, okay? Or you tell Uncle. Last night I soaked now fever? Tiffany Yue, originally Charles Feng's secretary, when followed Charles Feng to headquarters work. Once, met Uncle Yanadu. That man. Just look from afar she felt chills. Charles Feng found spot, park turned off. Grabbed her hand reassured. Relax. Jane Chen never want cancel.